Welcome to Disney from a Distance. I've gone to Disney 16 times now in my 33 years, and each time I have to leave from Fort Wayne, Indiana. And it just hits different when you have to travel to go to Disney. So, let's talk about how to go to Disney from a distance. Alright, as you guys are watching this video, I am currently heading out to Disney. Yes, it's during COVID. I've already been during COVID also. And yes, we'll be wearing masks for the entire time. We'll be hitting several of the different parks. And I am very excited to take you guys along with me. I'm sure we'll learn a lot of stuff together. We'll see how many attractions I can get. But initially here, we're going to just talk about what kinds of tips and tricks you can do to make your Disney vacation go more smoothly. So let's talk about it. Now, when it comes to Disney tips and tricks, my favorite thing to use is the Walt Disney World app. On that app, you can do all kinds of things. You can make reservations, you can reserve your spot at one of the theme parks, things like that. But also, while you're in the parks, you can open it up and see what the wait times are for all the different rides at Walt Disney World. So from far away, that becomes your best friend. A great way for you to plan your days at Magic Kingdom is to use that app, open it up, because anywhere where you may be, you are going to see live time reactions of what the line times are at the parks throughout the days. At this point, as we all know, if you are a Disney fan in particular, going to the theme parks, even during COVID, even without shows, even without some of the things that you would have to normally reserve for yourself, like FastPass Plus reservations, you still have to do a great deal of planning to take your Disney trip. I know a lot of people like the idea of taking a trip to Disney World and making that trip be just a very quick, spur-of-the-moment trip to go. Honestly, at this point, it hasn't worked that way for the last couple of years. So my biggest tip is to really familiarize yourself with the app, and particularly with the amount of time that each line generally is throughout the days. What you will notice is you'll see that certain rides go up and down. For instance, at Epcot, you will see Living with the Land go up and down throughout the day. Generally, there is a time during the day when that ride will get up to maybe 25 or 30 minutes. But throughout the rest of the day, it will stay around 10, maybe 15 minutes at the very most. So if you familiarize with the app, you might know that you have hit Living with the Land at a bad time, because generally that bad time ends up happening right around 11 to 1 o'clock, and then after that it's going to go back down again. So you can look at all these different rides. A lot of them will change. They'll go up and down throughout the day. Use that knowledge so that while you are walking around the parks, you come up to a certain ride that you know generally does not have a 50-minute wait. And you just go, okay, I'm not going to wait on this one. What my favorite thing to do, because I'm a little bit extra, is get out my notes pad on my phone and give myself 10 minutes to walk to an attraction. And then the amount of time that the app suggests that is the wait time for the day. So let's say 35 minutes for at this moment is what our wait time is. So I'm going to write down 35 minutes. After that 35 minutes, then I write down another 10 minutes to ride the ride, or however long it's going to be, and then another 10 minutes after that to walk to the next attraction. I do that repeatedly on repeat throughout the day just to see how many rides you can get done. Generally, the lines are not nearly as long as Disney puts on the line. So if you see a 40-minute wait time, usually you're probably going to wait 30 minutes for that wait time. Not always, but a lot of times, because Disney would rather you be happy that you waited 5 minutes less for that ride than be upset that you waited 5 minutes more for that ride. I mean, it's just common sense. They're managing your expectations, and in the same way, when you plan for Disney, you have to manage your expectations also. So it's always nice if you can plan to have a little bit of leeway time, or if you can plan to maybe do fewer rides than you know you may be able to hit overall because you've overestimated all of your wait times. Now, when planning for your Disney trip, generally you're not going by yourself, although I very much recommend going by yourself, but a lot of people would rather have people with them. I completely understand that. I'm a people person, but I also like to be there by myself. With the group that you are deciding to go to Disney World with, you need to talk with them about what their expectations are. What do they want to do? Just like we talked about managing expectations, you need to manage expectations from your group, and you need to understand what they want to do while you are there. So talk to them about what their needs are. Recently, my mom just really hurt her knee. So we have ordered a scooter for her. We talked with her about what needs to happen, how long she can be in the parks, and if there's going to be some issues. We almost got a flight, even though we decided to drive a while ago, to make that a little bit easier on her so that there's a little bit less driving. Luckily, she was able to get a doctor's appointment, and she's doing pretty well now with her knee. Although prayers appreciated if you want to lift a little prayer up for her knee. But that is a great way for you both to bond with the people that you are with and to ensure that you all have a good experience. Find out what people want. Find out what rides they want to go on. Find out if there are some special needs that they have, or if there's something really special that they want to do. My daughter really wants to go to For Real France because she loves Fancy Nancy. So we're not going to For Real France, but we have this opportunity to go spend some time in France at Epcot. So that's our plan. Our plan is to take a trip to Epcot and to go to a fancy restaurant. We're just doing Chefs de France. It's not that fancy, but it's really fancy to her, and it's an exciting thing for her. And she wants desperately for us to dress up. So I'm not going to wear anything fantastic. I'm just going to have a button-up shirt on with a tie. And that will make her day. So if you can do small things to make the people that you are with, to make their day, it's worth it 100%. So as you're planning, consider those things and make sure that you really talk with the people who you are going with to find out what kinds of little things would make their day. Consider yourself kind of an honorary cast member, and you are trying to make those magic moments happen. Now, along with that, you also have to set expectations for what you see is going to be necessary to complete all of the ideas that your group wants to do. For instance, we are having an entire day that is just dedicated to being by the pool or going to the beach. We found out that my aunt and uncle are coming down to the beach at the same time that we're there, and my little girl loves their little boy. So they're going to go play. They're going to go have some fun on the beach for our one day off there. We are also planning to get there by rope drop, but to try to leave before the ending bell. So if they close at 9 o'clock, hopefully we'll be out of most of the parks by 7. Some of them earlier than that, because especially Animal Kingdom seems to be a park that is pretty easy to do everything in just in a couple of hours. So we're going to try to be as efficient, going back to that planning that I've talked about. If you do enough of that planning and go through each day one piece at a time, you can start to realize what you have as an ability for you to do and how long that's reasonably going to take. If you don't come in right at rope drop, it's going to completely change your day. And so for us, coming in at rope drop is going to get us ahead of the crowds, and we're going to be able to hit a ton of attractions before everyone else has. All these tips kind of go hand in hand. Also, like I said, my daughter wanted to spend some extra fancy time, so she may need some extra shoes or some extra dresses things like that that would be helpful. We have definitely bought her a couple of pieces for pools that are going to be very nice, or also for our day at the beach. They're going to be very helpful for her to have some fun. Go buy the things that you need. You can buy little things that are going to make your trip more enjoyable. I also bought a fanny pack because I'm going to bring them back, and because fanny packs are actually very helpful. Generally, if you have a fanny pack on and you go on one of the rides that you would have to get a locker for, you do not have to get the locker for the fanny pack. So little snacks for my daughter, things like that. Also, things that you need to think about are what kinds of snacks are you going to need? How often do they need a little snack? Are they going to go crazy if you spend the entire day there? Do you need to go back for a nap? These are all important questions to ask yourself. And then make sure that you buy the things that you need before you get to the parks, before you have a meltdown on your hands with your family, which the last time I went, there was a little meltdown, so we're avoiding that this time. Another thing that I bought while I was out was a new pair of shoes. Now, buying new shoes, though, right before a trip to Disney World is a gamble. Generally, you will take 20,000 steps a day while you are at these parks. You're going to be walking a lot. It's going to be between usually 5 and 10 miles a day. You need to really plan to be walking a lot. If you're not used to walking, make sure that you try it out. Do a couple laps. Really get yourself walking. Well, one thing I noticed on this last walk, I lost a ton of weight a while ago, and then I gained some of it back this winter because I wasn't out walking every day. And I noticed something that's never happened before, which was a little bit of chafing. So I've been going for the last 4 days on 25,000 step walks. Now, of course, not everybody's going to be able to do that. Like I said, my mom even is going to have a scooter while we're there, so it's going to be different. But make sure that you plan accordingly. So if you need some Vaseline, if you need some Astroglide, things like that, those are also things that you really need to think about just in case. Also, make sure that when you practice walking, you wear the shoes you are going to take to Disney World. If you don't wear those shoes, you're going to possibly rub your ankles raw. So we want to make sure that you're ready and that you have every piece of the puzzle kind of planned out and ready to go just in case there are any major issues. So, what questions do you have about going to Disney World? I'm super excited about going, but drop your comments down below. Like I said, I'll be leaving on the day that I post this, which coincidentally will be tomorrow. That evening, I'll be heading out. If you have questions about Disney World, if you are about to plan your trip, please ask me down in the comments. I'd be more than happy to tell you. And we are driving down to Disney World, so you have 3 days while we drive. By the time that Sunday hits, I'll be at Animal Kingdom. At least that's the plan right now. And God willing, I'll be at Animal Kingdom. So let me know what your thoughts, questions, or comments are. I'd love to hear them. And let's do this Disney from a distance thing together. You have a great day. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.